What the heck?
Guten Abend, DJ Diplomatischer. Wie scheißen Sie?
What's up?
What's up?
Hey, Peter, what's up to you too?
Oh my goodness. Welcome to another episode of What the Hex, the most viewed, the episode last week with the most views and most likes in the past 2 weeks on the Discourse Syndicate network. Thank you so much for all the love and the support out there. Tom Gillespie, we were killing it.
And remember,
today,
if you want to get
got
involved, wait, hold on a second. If you want to support Tom Gillespie on the heels of last show, if you really want to support what he's doing, go take a look at his website, thebitjoinery.com, and go ahead and grab one of those tokens so you can be a contributor and sharpen your comedy chops by contributing to what he's doing. It's free to do and could be good for your health. And according to Peter, he guarantees that it will extend your life expectancy. Back to you, DJ Cryptomatic.
Yes. So this is episode 3 with Papa Boner, myself, DJ Cryptomatic, and our special suspect, Peter, is on the show today.
I'm the usual guest.
You're the usual suspect guest.
You're a Slavic.
Let me say hi to the chat real quick. DJ Nomnom, who was first today. Hexin SB SE from the UK, I guess. Hex on Airs in the house. Celt Hex is there. DJ Dougie is here. JFK666 from down under. Dorsey is our serial complainer. He's here. We got Orion. Hex on Effect. Man, Hexicans, the whole fam is here. That's nice.
The Bobs have arrived.
There are Bobs in this show, by the way.
Hey, hi guys, the Bobs are
Hello,
here.
everyone.
Where Bobs?
Bobs are here.
I'm not as smart as Bob.
Nice.
So we can go on like this for an hour.
You have so many.
Yeah.
Or just recycle all of those.
I'm recycling some good jokes. No, so last week was really a slammer episode. It was so much fun with Tom Gillespie, and then he played along, which was very cool. Yeah, check out his doco, as they say in the motion picture scene, the doco production. And you can find it on the Bitjoinery if you Google for that, or you go to thepulsetube.com. On the right hand side is a link which leads you directly to the documentary. You can pay with it in crypto as well. You can, if you do that, you get an NFT. Papa B, you tried out the NFT thing, right?
I tried out the NFT thing simply by claiming the free one at first, right? Free one at first, which is for being an author. It looks like it's a W, but it's an H. It's a hyper. I confused it with wiper. I thought maybe there was something for me to wipe, but instead it was hyping the project or the collective, as Tom Gillespie says. Yes. And the other one is the joiner. A joiner is somebody that would edit the hijinks and approve or reject, I assume, the quality of the things that are submitted by the authors. So I said, sign me up for all three, and you're delivered a free NFT to prove your commitment to the collective and offer your creative services.
Peter, have you watched it yet?
What? Like, you mean all 4 hours?
Yes. Hexicans Bob fight, all 4 hours. Yes.
I did it sooner than Das Baum.
Yeah, that's true.
Das Baum still hasn't.
Speaking of Das Baum, first things first. So whoever saw...
Can I preface this?
Tuesday's episode. Yes, please.
Okay, we've taken an oath not to tease or involve Das Baum in any of our reindeer games of comedy, fun, love, call them whatever. We've called a truce. We will not.
Which was
poke
the show
fun.
before, actually. in
That's
the-
correct. The show
in the
before.
green room.
So you'll note a new temperature, chilling it out a little bit where DOSBomb is concerned, because some people,
fine-tuning the frequency.
yes, some people want to be very serious when they stream. For us, we say, "What the hex?"
What the heck?
Right? We don't make any
Hex is
such.
what we say.
No such truce exists on our show, and I'll call this out right away. Although prefacing this next complaint with, I'll say credit where credit is due. DOSBomb's girlfriend knitted this amazing thing
Like the
that
old-fashioned way.
showing with like whatever. I don't know how long it took her, but it is a commitment. It fits him like a glove. Well, a fairly sloppy glove, but it fits him, keeps his nurries warm. But I'll tell you this. I had a problem looking at it straight on. How about you guys?
Yeah, but Papa B, one thing, it took her less time than Richard to give any V3 update.
That's very true.
That's the new way that we should gauge everything from now on.
Everything.
How long have you been waiting? Well, less time than Richard to give a V3 update. Wonderfully done.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody, we'll say a couple of things about this.
So it's not made of sheep, 100%. It's also oil.
Yeah, it is polyester type of product. But I wanted to sift around the internets and see if we could find something equally as hard on the eyes in sweater form. And
I kind of like the color, I have to say, up top here, but the rest of the scheme is more looking like his car, I think.
Yeah, well, you know what? If he drives around with it in his car, that would be
imagine that.
Yes, that would be great. Or if he lays across his car so the gradient just goes through his body as well, that would be great. But you know what? I scoured the internets to find something equally as atrocious in sweater form. And DJ, can you please advance the slide for the studio audience?
We've got this.
I'm
for
thinking
example.
that this is close. This is close.
This is more something that Richard Hart would buy, I guess.
If Richard Hart bought this, yes, it would be worth.
What about
this is just clowning around, so to speak, right?
Bitcoiners.
I like the look on the guy's face. He looks a little bit confused, like he may have been gifted this by a girlfriend or someone that thought he liked clowns. Yep. And
then we have frogs.
Frogs, right? You would not want to gift this to somebody that dawns from France, but otherwise, it's a great V. It's a V configuration of a sleeveless number featuring, like you said, a frog.
What about these glasses, though?
Those, I think,
it's called fashion.
I think it's called serial murderer.
In Germany,
no.
You need a
serial
weapons
murder
license
glasses are different. These are like child molester.
Well, we don't use that term, but let's just say that we'll just jump right to serial murderer. It could be children too.
Right along.
This is the bottom of the show. This is a very festive number, featuring a gaping hole and what appears to be a fuzzy pasty.
Is this a?
I'm not as smart as Bob.
So, you have any more questions, or are you just going to sit there in horror?
I mean,
silence?
the chat wanted it, so they got it.
So you got it.
Be careful what you wish for. You may get at least half of it.
Here's a young Jack Levin.
There's a Jack Levin. This is yes. This is him coming up with the concept of Zen.
You know, also this happened, but we're not going to go.
What's there?
What's this? What now?
Unusual activity, perhaps. What?
Could this be related to that picture?
I think they found this picture and then shut off his Twitter. I think
They said
exactly
these
what
carrots are just not what we want to show on.
I think he looks like more like Mark Zuckerberg when he was a human.
Before the hearing.
Before the robotization.
Can I please call your attention to the fact that there may or may not be bells that are also tied to these snowmen.
Yeah, that's a
gives you
bit Chinese, isn't it?
It's a festive sound that you can make as you walk up and down the neighborhood, the breeze in your carrots, so to speak.
Happy Chinese New Year, by the way.
Happy end of Chinese New Year.
Lunar
It's like 3 days
Year.
long.
Lunar
Give the
New
rabbit.
Year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Leo
Go ahead,
Tzi
Faktur.
Ma Lao. Going right ahead. What's this?
This is called the Yeti, and it's actually
Oh.
very nice with bicycle shorts. It's also it's not fire retardant nor an insect repellent. So please be careful when taking this one out and rolling around in the yard.
It's not fire retarded, yes.
It's retarded, not fire retardant.
I think the post chain devs would appreciate it, though.
Oh yes.
Why?
Not
And
so much
is-
this one.
This is the sneaky snake. It's sneaking around. And that hair, that I call this hairstyle the penis glands. This is the head of the dick is exactly what he asked the barber at Supercuts to emulate, and he got it.
Say no more, fam.
Yeah. He got it.
$9.99.
Yep. Right.
And
Moving right along.
finally,
And this number is interesting because it's either appropriate to wear to, let's say, the museum, or it could double, instead of a velociraptor impaling your loved one, it could easily be the alien chest burster as well.
Yeah.
You could take
but-
this to a Comic-Con and show everybody that you've got the Ridley Scott thing going on. And here she is somehow posing like a kangaroo. I don't know why. And that is
okay.
the
It's the
Das Valves
type-
discussion.
No. It's the Velociraptor hands.
But there's already a Velociraptor, so she's like double Velociraptor.
Double the fun, double the fun, double the hands.
Ah.
so in
Works.
conclusion, we could say congratulations, but please don't wear those.
Yeah. One more thing. DJ, this is like a little bit of a epilogue. DJ Cryptomatic and Peter, it's go ahead and try this. This is very interesting to watch somebody react like this and completely, do away with all feedback from loved ones or co-streamers, acquaintances, family animal pets. Tell me, in your words, try to instruct me, Papa. No, your underwear goes inside of your pants. Inside of your pants, not on the outside.
I would never say that to you.
But please do, just for the sake of this experiment, please do.
No.
Papa,
Go ahead.
please wear your underwear inside the trunk.
No, what? That reaction is kind of weird to you, isn't it? I didn't take your advice. I acknowledged it, but I said, certainly you must be crazy, right? There's the nah, what reaction to me says, no, I heard you, but you got to go fuck yourself now. Wouldn't you think that that's exactly what? Go back to the picture of Das Bomb. We got to discuss this last little point. Now you notice on the front of this, there is no HEX logo, which ties the whole joke of the yellow to orange to pink gradient together.
Yep.
It's
It is
on
the
the back.
value of this thing, right?
It's on
So
the back, Papa.
it's on the back. And when we pointed it out to him, what was his reaction? Everyone in the chat was going crazy, like, "Oh, it's on fucking backwards." And his reaction was, "Nah, what?
I like it
Nah,
that way.
what?" and he excused himself to turn it back around, and we got to see
Yes.
it. We're like, that's very nice. But then before the end of the show, he's like, "Nope," goes back again to the reverse. It's like Peter spending like 20 grand on a beautiful piece of art and then never showing it to us in his background. He's like,
20?
puts it
What the
behind the wall behind you. You've got like a beautiful art piece, one of the best Hexican based art pieces like we've ever seen, and you would rather keep it out of view.
Private.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Enough about Das Bomb. Done.
Right. Smash the likes, please. even though it may be difficult, but it's good for the algo.
And as Dorsey
Right.
points out, Papa, the depends go on the inside
Yeah.
of your pants. That one I will not argue with.
The depends or the
Yeah.
deep ends.
Well, it does depend.
One could also say, keep it in your pants.
Yes. Thank you, JFK
And DJ
666.
Dougie is supporting me. His words were, "I like it from behind, not from the front." He said something like this. Yes, he did.
Yes.
He did. All right. What else do we got? We have some jokes. Shall we?
Oh,
I don't like jokes. We have to keep this very serious.
Oh,
No jokes?
Not the jokes, please.
Depends
No
how bad they
jokes?
are. The worse they are, the better.
Okay, we got one here from DJ Nom Nom. Check this out.
Oh.
After an unsuccessful harvest, why did the farmer decide to try a career in music? Because he had a ton of sick beats. Yeah.
Okay.
I have to
My
say,
brain hurts.
Crypto Vince would be very proud.
Wait, I can do the impression. Are you ready? Crypto
Okay.
Vince. Let me get him in here.
Crypto Vince.
Ready? I'm gonna draw from my thespian prowess to invoke Crypto Vince's remark. Ready? 10 out of 10.
Okay.
Spot on, sir.
Thank
Spot on. Spot on. And I think Crypto Vince would be proud though to see DJ Nom Nom like kind of step into his shoes. Is big shoes to wear, but I think we should get DJ Nom Nom on the show one day.
I think so too.
Yeah,
Since Vince stepped away from streaming a little bit, Nom Nom is there to fill the gap.
Cryptomantic. I think one day we should get Hexicans on the show.
Just because you want to have the fight.
Of course.
Hexicans
I'm always
always
ready. I'm
invited.
always ready, but she's very shy.
Hexicans might even have keys.
I don't think that Hexicans is shy. In fact, I would say I think she's ready to come on right now.
Yes.
I think that you should be sending her a DM of the link to the show and see if she would accept the olive branch, young Peter.
Say no more, fam.
Hexicans, put your top back on and get your microphone ready because Peter is sending you the link.
Get your best up on.
Mm-hmm.
Link is on the way.
Everybody wants to see it, and so shall it be. What else we got in your bag?
Now we've got a second joke, but this one is this from our brother Finn Bear. So if you have little kids watching, you might want to cover the ears just for the next
cover their
30
ears,
seconds.
eyes, and mouths.
So check this out.
The husband quit his job or
No, sorry, I was too far in. Okay, here we go.
So there was this couple who was really set in their ways, like pushing retirement, and the husband quit his job or resigned just before his pension, and they decided that they're gonna sell their house and move a bit closer to the countryside, maybe get a smaller place with a nicer yard and stuff. And the missus found a really nice place that they moved into, and then like a week later, the guy says to his wife, like the shed we had in the old house was a lot nicer. I used to go there for a wank every now and then. And the missus was like, yeah, I know you like I know you liked your wanking in the shed, but what does that have to do with the new house? And the guy says, well, the new shed is really crap for wanking. And the missus is like, dude, that's the fucking greenhouse.
The Finns are not renowned for their, stand-up comedy sensibilities, but because this is an autobiographical story for Finn Bear, it really landed nicely. Well done.
I have a
Finbar.
feeling there's some truth to this story. Yes,
Exactly. He's like, well, a man that will remain nameless and obscured from the story, maybe me, maybe not, was wanking one day and then greenhouse.
Such a shame that he isn't here. Oh, he is actually.
Of course he's here.
He's actually in the chat. Shout out to Finbar. Thank you for being a part of the show. You see?
Gentlemen, as long as we're going around the world with comedy, I did hear a joke I can convey
Oh, that goes.
from my Filipino friend. It's a Filipino
Right.
joke. Would anybody like to hear a Filipino joke? Anybody? Here we go. Okay, got to do it in a Filipino, just exactly the way that he told it to me. This is from a Hawaiian Filipino gentleman who says, "Hey, why did the chicken cross the road to go to church? Why did the chicken to cross the road to go to church?
Why?
To talk to God." Yeah.
What's what?
Please watch your step. 動く歩道です。足元にご注意ください。Please
And
watch your
and
step.
yes, thank you.
動く歩道です。
One more
足
time.
元にご注意ください。
That's the signal that gets Papa to tone down and watch his step. I heard that in constant repetition for 2 full hours in Nagoya Airport just 3 weeks ago, and it was painful in the brain. So when I hear it again, it will shock me and get me to play nice. Thank you.
Awesome. Now, next order of business, we wanted to have so I guess Hexicon is chickening out to the
As always,
to the dentist.
Uh-oh.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Another guy who chickened out was this person right here.
DJ Cryptomatic. Let's go.
That's right. Let's go. So
let's go. Not to respond to your messages.
Yes. What is this about? We have to bring this up.
Yes. So there was this tweet which caused a bit of a stir in the Hex community, or the security part of the.
I was just stirring my pants.
Community. So Crypto Coffee says, and we wanted to have him on the show to defend himself, or explain, well, not defend, but explain to us more about his opinion. But he didn't show. I guess he's on vacation at the moment, so that's all right. But we're
He
still
was
gonna
probably drunk when right.
when he tweeted this. So we can't talk with him, but we can talk about it
Without him. That's
behind his back, I guess. So
Can
he's
you read
saying
it for us?
hardware wallets add complexity and extra new risks. The security trade-off isn't better. It's just different. If you're not a technical person, don't feel like you need one. Protect your seeds, use isolated device, follow general security best practices. And all I gotta say is, what the hex?
What
Yeah,
the hex?
Why would you buy a hardware wallet when you can buy a separate device for billion dollars?
Let me explain something to y'all. Everyone.
Why spend $90 when you can spend more? Easy.
For less, by the way, as well.
Less.
You know, okay, so I want to take you guys back down memory lane. Back before the AA opened up for Hex, back in the early days, I locked horns with an older gentleman. I know it's hard for you to believe, but even older than me. And this guy's name, his call sign was Old Man Hex. And I haven't seen this guy in our community since that time. But he and I locked horns when I said, start this shit right with a hardware wallet.
Yes.
Do the AA stuff, and if you're gonna stake this stuff, I guarantee you got to do it for yourself, and you got to do it for anybody you onboard, right? And he came back to me and this is back in the Telegram chat where we're all kind of half trolling Richard at the very beginning. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. We were just having a good time. But I stopped and I said, excuse me, but I don't want to be here, in 3 to 5 years cleaning up after your fucking mistakes because you think that onboarding is the most important thing, but community retention isn't.
Yes.
So you can accumulate a whole bunch of people, but not looking out for your, Hexican brothers and sisters by instructing them to get a simple security posture in place. And best practices, by the way, are hardware fucking wallets. It's not a separate device, as Peter has deftly pointed out, that you just just go ahead and get yourself a dedicated laptop and make sure that laptop is Linux based and make sure that you're encrypting all everything to and from as well. And make sure it's never online except for whatever. And your updates are scanned and all this other shit. You got a honeypot and all these misdirects all through your network and all that's up to date and all that's Linux based and all that is freaking by an ISP that you know and trust. And then you've got all your mail served up by your friend who lives right in your living room. Fuck all that shit. A hardware wallet is the way to go. And I think it is entirely reckless for a senior Hexican in our community or anyone else to tell you otherwise. Now, I've also prepared this low-tech analogy. Yeah, thumbs down to that comment. This low-tech analogy, guys. Think of it this way, okay? For anybody in our community that says you gotta go out and you gotta get more people into this thing of ours, that's the important thing, not protecting them. Check it out. Here's this beautiful drawing that I paid somebody on Fiverr to make for me. Effectively, here, thank you. And over here, this little stick man represents you, in case it wasn't obvious. And your onboards are here in the middle. And let's say that you've onboarded 5 people because you've gone out there and you've shot your wad into the Twitter sphere. And you convince people to look at Hex. And then this bad guy, noted by his evil eye patch, because all people with eye patches are obviously evil, it represents an attacker that rinses 2 of your onboards. That's pretty much what we're talking about here because this will happen.
I thought it's RG3. God damn
listen,
it.
Yeah, well, listen to me. Why are they going to get rinsed? Because they're only using MetaMask. Why are we knowing that they're going to get rinsed? Because this is about the frequency of people that actually contact me via DM and say that they got rinsed. How did they get rinsed? Because there's something called the Mars Stealer, which is an exploit that specifically points toward, or is an exploit form fitted for web extension wallets, of which MetaMask is the most important and most famous one. All right, so how does it work? It infects your system. You won't ever know about it. You just went to a website injects into your system, and you've got this Mars Stealer all throughout your system. Oh no, what do? You will never know it because it actually goes and it takes the seed store file from your local machine that you've got the MetaMask on, and it waits until you type in your password. And guess what? That seed store file is encrypted. It's safe, but it's decryptable by use of your password. Not very safe. So if you can collect both of those things and then phone home and have those 2 bits of information in the bad guy's hands, guess what? You're sharing a wallet with them. And that's how people get rinsed from using MetaMask. Use it as a dumb pipe interface for your hardware wallet to plug into it, Ledger or Trezor. End of fucking story. And here's what it looks like if you do that. The same two onboards that you just gave up through to the wolves cost you all of this opportunity cost here. All of these freaking onboards and onboards of onboards and onboards of onboards as onboards. All that shit that really grows a community starts from just the 2 that you fucked over by giving them bad advice. Exactly those two guys.
Those
they
2
don't come back.
Marketing guys.
Yep.
Those 2 marketing guys that would onboard everybody. Yeah.
It may be.
I mean, if I can put myself in their shoes real quick, the people who are saying this, and I don't mean to call anyone out here, but I'm friends with those guys, so I guess it's okay if I mention their name, is because I've heard this before from Crypto Coffee, from Johnny Chaos, and I think from Maddie as well. Those 3 who are very senior guys in our community, and when they say something that holds some weight, and they say that if I'm putting myself in their shoes, it's not my point of view. I think I go along with, oops, my microphone, with Papa B here with the hardware wallets, because it happened to me. I've been hacked before, and having had a hardware wallet at the time would have saved me from that. But they say that it adds, like, it makes it too complicated for the layman who comes into the space. It's just another pain to deal with, and they just want them to, have paper wallets or have a hot wallet on an isolated computer, because otherwise it would deter them from getting into Hex. That is, I think, their point of view. What can we say against that?
We say bullshit, because like I say, it's harder to get you in. It's like, get on the roller coaster ride, but I haven't maintained it at all.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't checked it for safety issues. I don't even know if the seatbelts work on it. Right. I don't know if the restraint comes down all the way. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just want more people on my fucking roller coaster. And by the way, people that fly off the roller coaster, it's not my problem, because I'm not going to, no, I'm not going to be at the park, because I'm going to be sitting outside the park saying, oh, I got my commissions because I got people into the park, because I got all this fame and fortune because I got people in the park. Oh, people died? Oh, that's too bad. Unfortunately, hey, rinses and exploits are in the game, so sucks for them. I got mine. Fuck that. Look back at the people that you get into this thing. Take a little bit of responsibility. And by the way, another thing, DJ Cryptomatic and Peter too, I'm sick to death of people quoting the words without knowing what the fuck they're talking about when they say security best practices. What are the Web3 best practices? Can anybody in the chat right now quote me any one of the guidelines that are set down for Web3 best practices?
I mean, that's what he wrote here in his tweet, best practices, and the best practice is to get a hardware wallet, really.
It is, but I'm telling you now that quoting that without having an understanding of the chapters and verses that are available now, which are few and far between, is reckless. It's just not fair to the people that you're bringing into this thing. We want people to be secure. We want to be the best and most secure crypto community there is. So I'm telling you what I'm doing about this. You guys can look for it soon, next Thursday. You guys, John McCoy, who runs a security session every Saturday, free of charge, to people on Twitter Spaces to ask any question you want. An incredible asset to our community. He and I are bringing together the first Hexican and Pulsican community security best practices roundtable. And we're going to delve into all these things. And we're really going to see what we're going to put down on paper and publish and establish true best practices in Web3 and specifically in Hex and Pulse. So if you guys want to come and show up and contribute to that, I really urge you to take a look at it. I'll tweet out the particulars as soon as we nail them down. But John McCoy is he's a very experienced security practitioner, and I have a great deal of respect for him. I think that you guys should keep an open ear and take some notes, because what he's laying down, it's the God's honest truth, and he does take responsibility for what he says, right? Also, some penetration testers will be present, and some other people in our crypto community from other things, like I'm trying to convince through invitation, through connections, for the Pulse Police and Hex Security Chat, and all sorts of people that are good security practitioners in our community and need to exchange notes and get on the same page and understand the messaging and the news about exploits, because eventually we're all going to be hit by a zero-day attack. It's inevitable. The key is, are we able as a community to pivot into the next best thing and seal that gap and apply that patch and make sure our goodies don't get stolen? Because we're in this for 15 years plus together, guys. And that's
it can happen. And it can happen even if you do everything right. Let me tell you, this is a bit of storytelling with Uncle DJ Cryptomatic. But this is what happened to me. I got in the space or in the spaces you guys, in 2017 at the height of the ICO craze. And I didn't know about hardware wallets back then. I didn't actually know that it exists, and it just became, the Ledger and the Trezors just became more popular. And I had an Ethereum wallet, not even with the seed words. I just had a public key and a private key, and that is the wallet that I had. And I used a website called My Ether Wallet, where I could access my wallet by pasting the private key onto the website, and then I could make transactions. So this is how I used it. This is more than a hot wallet. This is not even MetaMask. This is totally nuts, right?
Wait, DJ Cryptomac, may I interject one thing? The easiest way to get those private keys from you is through the copy paste exploit. So
Yes.
they can either redirect it when you paste it, or they can nab it from you when you copy it. So please continue.
They did a bit of nabbing in that case, but I was using this method for 7 months. Like, I started in June 2017 and the hack happened in January. So during this time, it was the crazy run up of the first Bitcoin mega cycle. I took part in maybe 7 or 8 different ICOs. And back then you could only, pay Ethereum towards the ICOs, which is actually quite advanced if you hold your private keys. So you should never, send to those crowdfunding pages via an exchange. You always must have the wallet where you hold your own keys to. So I did this for 6-7 months, always in the same passion, always pasting the bloody key onto the My Ether Wallet website, and nothing ever happened. So I felt totally safe, it was absolutely fine. This works like that. And I made sure I'm not clicking on any fish links in the emails, or I'm always accessing the site by the bookmark that I saved on my computer. So I was careful not to be, because if you Google something, you just get an alternative link and the site looks the same, but it's actually a phishing site. So that's not what happened. So then in January 2018, I did it again, because I don't know what I did. I had to transfer something back to the exchange, I believe it was. And then the day later, I checked my wallet again, just on the Ethereum Explorer, and everything was gone. Everything was rinsed. All my ICO tokens from the 6-7 ICOs that I took part, because I was always using the same wallet for everything, and everything got rinsed, got transferred out. There wasn't even any Ethereum in there. They moved Ethereum in to transfer out the ERC20 tokens. It was a market value of $20,000 at the time. And me beginning in this space, big money for me. Like, this was serious. I guess it's serious money for anyone.
Big money for a lot of people.
Yeah, can you recreate how you broke that to your wife? Peter will play your wife, and you can recreate how you broached the
and I'm
subject
telling
with
you,
her.
yeah, telling the wife you fucked up all this money. That's one, because there is no transferring back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You're literally fucked in that situation. There's no call center. Hello, Polygon. There's nobody in in India that you can call. There's just nothing, right? So,
Yeah.
And then I went like, why? How the hell could this have happened? I was not clicking an email. I was using the correct site.
Right.
And then again, they transferred Ethereum in just to move my tokens out and move them to a wallet. And I was then able to trace where they send it to, and it was sold immediately on Ether Delta, which was the first DEX that we had, kind of DEX that we had at the time. And then I found out 3 months later that during the time where this happened, it was actually a window of 10 days. The My Ether Wallet website was DNS hacked by hackers.
Yeah.
So on the back end of the site, on the server level, which nobody using it could have ever noticed or seen or know. And this allowed them for a period of 10 days to anybody who accessed their wallet like I did to paste a copy basically of that private key. And that's how, like, they could connect the private key to a certain wallet in that manner, and that's how they took all my shit. And if I would have had a hardware wallet at that time, this would have never happened, because the hardware wallet never exposes your private keys to the internet. It always guards it on that. So even if you're super careful, and as Crypto Coffee here mentions, isolated device, etc., if you want to transfer and move coins around, you have to connect at some point to the internet. And if then something like this happened, what happened to me, you don't even know, so you can't follow all the best practices that you want. They would have taken your stuff. And I feel hardware wallet is the only thing that really works against that.
Now, one thing. Hold on. First of all, can we see Hex Mackenzie's comment first? Can we bring that up?
This one?
Yes, please. Okay, the question is, how do you recommend we use the hidden wallet on Trezor? We copy paste the passphrase or type it directly. For a Trezor 1, you cannot enter it in directly into the device. If you have a Trezor Model T, you can actually type it directly in the device. If you're very patient and really believe in your security posture, then that's the best way to do it. Otherwise, next best way is, sorry to say, typing it into the keyboard is your only other strategy to actually enter it in on a Trezor 1. However, do not copy and paste it ever, because like we just said, a very easy exploit to get the easiest keylogger to get exactly what the attackers want is the copy and paste redirect, right? Or the keylogger for copy paste. So if they can get it from that, it's all in one go, it's in one package, and then they can also replace what you're entering in. If you're establishing where you want to send something, accidentally you're not checking things out, you hit paste and you send something to the wrong wallet because they've redirected everything on the copy paste that you've just put in into their wallet address, and off it goes, never to be seen again. So it's a great question. Get a really strong passphrase. Understand that there is a modicum of risk, but the risk is it's difficult to say that it's 100% effective, but what we're doing in this game is we're shaving off, like I say all the time, you're shaving off little micro percentage points of the risk of actually getting an exploit to take your funds, and using a passphrase, but having to actually enter it in the keyboard. I'll allow that because obviously it requires something other than just the Mars Stealer to rip off everything and then connect the two things. So a passphrase may be disjointed for an attacker if they're just sitting back and wait. They're getting all of your data in there and they find a passphrase. Okay, they may write it down. They don't have your seeds to connect up with the passphrase. So that's that. What if you have a pin instead of a passphrase? Okay.
And the Trezor is both, right? Is a pin first, and for the secret wallet,
so
you have a
I think
passphrase.
I'm going to assume that nom nom is, it could be referring to two things. One, yes, the pin is the first thing that you enter in to unlock the device, so it's not a passphrase, period. A passphrase is entered in, it's not stored in memory ever, anywhere. The pin is. The pin is in local memory on the actual device. The passphrase doesn't exist anywhere. It's only when you type it in. It's not held in memory anywhere, not on your machine, not on your hardware device, nowhere. It's only in your backups in the real world. But as John McCoy said last weekend, there is a way on Trezor Model T that you can actually assign a new pin to access the passphrase wallet as well. It's a separate pin on top of the pin that you already have to get into the device. A secondary pin is required to get into the passphrase enabled hidden wallet, which is fascinating. So there's that. Don't think that your login pin into the device to unlock it is any form of security. It's, I think, up to now 15 characters on the Trezor Model T. They've expanded it. It used to be 9, I think, maximum. So now it's a lot more. It could even be more than 15. I don't know, but I'll have to check. But the idea is that can be easily brute force attacked because the law of the mathematics behind this is you've got, let's say, 9 tumblers and only 9 possibilities versus, of course, passphrases, which can be up to 50 to 100 characters on the ledger, Nano S and X and S plus. that is infinitely more difficult to conceivably guess, crack, or hack, or brute force at all. Almost for the things that man can use today, and the time it would take to do it, you could consider that impossible today. Tomorrow, we don't know, but today, it's just not worth anybody's while to spend the money for a quantum computer to actually try and guess in all the grains of sand, which are one of which is your unique passphrase plus your seed phrase in the time-space continuum. There's no way that they're going to connect up the two. There's just no conceivable way they can do that by guessing.
I mean, also the argument that it's so complicated. I don't know. I mean, when this happened to me, I immediately went out and ordered my first nano ledger. And I mean, if you want to set up a dummy MetaMask on your Chrome browser, it's the same process. Like you have to write down on paper. Don't take screenshots. Don't take photo pictures with your mobile phone. You write down on paper the 12 or 24 seed words. And that's your wallet. You don't actually need the private keys to that. You just have your seed phrase and you store them somewhere safe. And if you install the nano ledger, it's the same thing. You have to clickety click, which Papa doesn't like. I love the ledger because it's French, and
it's okay if you can like it. It's fine.
You click through the same 24 words plus a pin.
Let me correct you for a second. Yes. The pin is the first thing, then it's the 24 words. And the 24 words coincide with their physical representation. The first 4 characters of each of those words coincides to a number code that affects the number code previous to that number code. So it has an influence on the others prior to it. And then the final one does a full inside outside computation of all the codes that came before and then back again. It's the most important one, they say, is the 24th. But to clarify, you say you don't even need to have your key, and the answer is your seed is a representation of your key. Don't forget that, and don't think that you can separate the two, or the two wouldn't ever match up again if you entered in the seeds. The seeds are the representation of the private key. It's just that we've evolved to a point where we're actually making use of the BIP39 compliant, the Bitcoin Improvement Proposal 39, which provided all those words that would then be used to make these wallets come alive on the blockchain. And they use it across all blockchains now.
In the thread here, it then went a bit back and forth. Like I forgot my passphrase on the Trezor once and almost rocked myself.
I'm sorry. Bob Lagai just corrected me. The thing that I was looking for, Bob, and thank you. And I expect to see you on that round table is checksum. The 24th word does the final checksum of the others. Thank you, Bob. Another great security-minded gentleman right there.
He is. And again, the passphrase, that's actually only for the hidden wallet. So for the main wallet, it's just your pin on the Trezor that you have to remember, right? And then what if there is a 0-day exploit that's discovered? What if the company loses all your data? Ledger already has, which is true on the marketing database that was hacked.
Doesn't mean anything in terms of the soundness and the
viability
of the
security of the device. That doesn't mean it. What if
thing.
you lock yourself out and lose your seed?
If you lose your seed,
hot wallet, it's the same thing.
Peter needs to pee, so he'll be right back.
Stolen. Well, the beauty is you can lose your actual device, and
no, stop. It is not. You cannot simply lose your device. Do you know why?
Why? If you have your seed words in another location, you can reinstall it on a brand new ledger.
You can, but you should be taking care of this device as if it was your seed, even though, because it is easy. I wouldn't say easy. I would say it is possible, right, for an experienced and sophisticated attacker to crack open the ledger or the Trezor, all the SKUs that they produce. And through the use of a chipset reader, they can extract the seeds from that device. If you're going to lose your device, it's probably because it has punked out, because, you know, it's only got a life expectancy of, let's just say 10 years, right? And if you live near the ocean, it's going to probably be less than that. We don't know, but we simply say it'll punk out at some point. There's no moving parts on board, but the connectors can oxidize over time. Let's say that it dies, it doesn't work anymore. You don't have a problem with that because you've got your seeds backed up in the real world. And yes, you can reintroduce them safely and securely back in the device. However, if you go walking around like it's your key fob and you lose it one day, that is bad, because those seeds can be extracted if somebody does find it. And in the years to come, more and more people are going to recognize what a ledger or a Trezor looks like. And they're going to say, oh, damn, I found this. Hey, I think I know that guy that tinkers in his garage and has a chipset reader and is kind of, you know, getting wallets that are, you know, lost or whatever. I might as well just go pay him a couple bucks and take all the goodies that are in that wallet. And that can be done. So don't be walking around town with this shit. Keep it in the privacy and security of your own home, and secure those hardware wallets, because they're only secured by pins to get into them, as you said.
I mean, I stand by the point, or as a plea from my side, or a pledge, that if you're somebody in the community with a following, with a standing, if people listen to you, if you have followers on your Twitter, on your YouTube, and Crypto Coffee is the main YouTuber that we have still, that's kind of not the message we should be giving out, really. And
yeah, that's the bottom line.
Because I think it's not so complicated to set up a hardware wallet and connect that to your MetaMask. You need to have MetaMask anyway or you should have to interact with HEX and do your stakes. And it's just one click away to connect the hardware wallet, and then you have to confirm the transaction on the device. But yeah, I found that super easy. And again, look at my story: 20 grand down, down the toilet, basically.
Right.
Just
if it was
some
HEX,
stupid thing on the back end that I had no control over, and that actually saves from myself of clicking stupid links or watching fishy websites on the internet, and thus installing malware on my machine. It also protects me from things that are out of my sphere to protect.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, I just want to nail this home. Think of it as all that energy to go and convince people that this thing of ours is not a scam, and that it's not a security, and that it's worth your time, that the returns could be potentially, we don't have any financial advice on the show or anywhere else, they could be significant. And if they are in this whole crypto thing of yours, no matter what you invest in, be it HEX or other things, having that kind of pinning you to a community, it is the ownership of your goodies, period. Because when you don't have it anymore, you got to start over again, and you lose. You're not retaining that person in the community. Onboarding is one thing, growing the community is one thing, but if you've got a hole in the bucket, you're gonna not have the water when it comes time to put out the fire. So please remember that community retention should be as equal weight of onboarding. Your onboards are your family, your friends, your people that trust you, your judgment and the story that you have. You don't want them to say, oh shit, it's over, right?
Yeah.
Even before they get to enjoy their first end stake.
Absolutely. And we don't mean to shit on Crypto Coffee. That's not what this is. Like, he is the guy, like, especially in those first 2 months. I remember when after the launch and HEX was really down, and it was down like now, like 80% or something from launch day. And Crypto Coffee was really the only guy who held up the spirits on YouTube and the streaming, and he, made everybody at ease and said, hey, this is just temporary. You haven't seen nothing yet. And boy, was he correct. So we owe a lot to Crypto Coffee. It's just we wanted to give our take on this topic, basically.
Well, I'm telling you though that
I think introducing Jack Levin to Hexicans negated that.
Peter has to take it there. No, I said something nice. Jesus Christ.
No, look, I'll be the first to say, and people know that back in the early days, I was the first one to say that Crypto Coffee is a shining star in our community.
Yes,
he's one of our best and most articulate evangelists. When I heard what he had to say, I'm like, oh, this guy is great, smart. Back then, smart kid, right? I would say, but incredible. Which is why it's a bit of a heartbreak to see written down that gets 197 likes before I actually, responded to it. That's influence, right? That's people that are like, yeah, fuck wearing underwear and wiping my ass. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't have to because that makes sense to me. 197 likes, it's common sense, but there is no common sense in this thing. If anybody tells you and you trust that thing, then you could make a mistake, and then think about how much responsibility that person has coming to you when the shit goes down. And sometimes it's none, right? Sometimes it's none.
This is not some stupid ICO. That has one pump and that's it. This is HEX. So, you know where this can potentially go. No financial advice.
DJ Cryptomatic. Let's go.
All right. So we don't want
wrecked. I got wrecked.
No, we don't want that.
Don't want
on a lighter note.
Todavía have a list of top 5 amter. Número 5. Amteran. Número 4. Amter Dance.
Here's the best one. Watch.
Okay.
Número 3. Amter Scream. Número 2. Amtersus.
Whoa.
Honorablemente. Número 1. Amter estaré.
Coming soon.
So Richard Hart put out a bunch of tweets just yesterday. He posted on Telegram first, and then also on his Twitter, and the latest and greatest about the dev work on the Pulse Chain matcher. Now, I don't understand anything of what this means. Do you guys have? Here's a hamster.
Yeah.
It's not a hamster. It's an otter.
Oh, okay.
It's the Aragon
Do you guys
otter.
have any comments to this? I'm like, what the fuck? But there's screenshots, so
it says Pulse Chain soon is what it says. Look at all that green and white. You know what? Hey, zoom down.
Here's
Zoom down.
another
The
otter
F7.
there on the,
Can you
on the
enhance,
side.
DJ Cryptomatic?
I cannot.
All right, if you look down, the F7 button, if you squint your eyes and go in really, really, really close, you'll see that the F7, what does the F7 say?
Delete. I don't know.
No. It says for some reason, nice. So if you hit F7 on your keyboard in unison, it'll be nice.
Right. Is that a
I
Easter
don't
egg?
care about any of this of Richard's technical jibber jabber. What I noticed was that when he posted these updates, after long time, he posted these updates also into Hex Trading.
Aha. To Hex Reddit.
Hex Trading group.
Oh, Hex Trading. Oh, yeah.
And that was
Interesting.
unusual.
I thought it was in Hex News only, but Hex Trading, that's unusual.
Hex
Yeah.
News.
He posted
Nudes.
He
Hex
posted it himself into Hex Trading. That's
So
like,
either way,
wow.
all we want to know
That's
is
like-
When posting. When the fuck posting.
And with that, I think we've
Outro.